Hello everybody, this is Manuel again with another Eternal News episode. So today I'm gonna continue talking about more spoilers because they really piled up a lot. In this video I will just talk about the rest of the sort of unrelated spoilers that I haven't talked about yet and make two separate videos for all the spellcraft spoilers and for all the Inspire spoilers, which are two new mechanics that some of you guys may or may not have seen or heard about already. So yeah, stay tuned for separate videos for these two mechanics, because there have been a bunch of spoilers for both of these and too many to cover them all in one video. Alright, so we have Chairman's Contract first. This is a new power card. It's a rare, which is interesting for colorless power. So yeah, given that this doesn't say anything about influence, it's just giving you one power, no influence. And it mills the top two cards of your deck. This is basically one of the more convenient tribute enablers so far, and also has synergy with some other void interaction mechanics like reanimation stuff and so on. Like for example, say in a Haunting Scream deck this can be really cool, but only in like a 2-color Haunting Scream deck, because otherwise the colorless influence would be too painful. But imagine you play this on turn 1 you play a Crest, on turn 2 you play this, mill an Infiltrator, and then you can just Haunting Scream on turn 2 with your Beast Caller or your Gorgon. That's pretty amazing. And yeah, it's a potential 0 power way to trigger Tribute, which is really nice. But yeah, it's gonna be niche. It's only gonna work in like single or a double faction decks. For 3 faction decks it's too ambitious. But yeah, keep an eye on this if you're trying to make Tribute happen more, or just trying to abuse the void. Next we have another 2-power 3/2 Shadow Unseen for the whole like Unseen tribal stuff potentially, and also just in general, because this is actually a pretty good card. Once per turn you may pay 3 to draw a card. Fenris Nitrate deals 3 damage to you and 1 damage to each cursed enemy. So basically you can invest 3 power and 3 health once a turn to draw an extra card, and if the opponent is cursed, it even deals 1 damage to them as a bonus, which is nice, but not that relevant and not gonna happen that often. It's worth noting that if you're invulnerable to damage, for some reason you can use this without taking damage. Like for example, if you have 7 power and equip like an Auric Runehammer and then activate this, you don't take any damage. Because it's not like, there's nothing like loss of life, I think, like health loss in this game. So only damage, and that can be prevented by these types of effects. So yeah, this is a pretty nice 2-drop that trades with the premium 2-drops that have 3 health and hits reasonably hard, and is a great strat late game against control decks where your health doesn't matter as much. Pretty solid card, and it has a relevant tribe. Next we have Disrupt, a new colorless spell. It's the first universal relic removal. It lets you kill an enemy relic or silence an enemy unit. It's not particularly good because it's not a fast spell and it costs 3, so not great, but it's an option for decks that desperately need these kinds of effects, which is not too likely to happen if you ask me. And in limited, it's probably a bit too underpowered to be particularly good. Oh, sorry. Next we have a pretty cool one, Lesroy Provocateur. You remember the discussion about the spoiler artwork, and I guess pretty well that it's gonna be an elf and it's gonna be a shadow or a Stonescar card. Turns out it's just a shadow card. Artwork looks a bit more Stonescar than just shadow, but why not? It's an elf rogue. It's a 3/5 deadly for 4, double shadow, basically exactly the same as Steward of the Past, except instead of Steward's summon effect, we get an infiltrate, and the infiltrate says the enemy player discards all weapons from their deck. So basically if you play this on turn 4 and hit the armory player on turn 5, or Icaria Black or Icaria Blue, all the weapons are gone. Which is pretty powerful, potentially. I mean, it only discards weapons from the deck, so the ones they already have in hand or in play are not affected, but it means you don't have to worry about weapons anymore, you don't have to worry about Rise or Icaria buffed weapons especially, which is pretty nice, and a 4-cost 3/5 deadly is a pretty solid unit, although it's a more defensive than aggressive unit, so it's not a great card for more aggressive decks. But yeah, all in all, it's a pretty cool like counterplay card, and the card is pretty good body-wise that you can just put it in your main deck easily without making your deck bad, especially if you're like a mid-range or control deck, and then you have this option to just shut down any future weapons from weapon opponents, which is cool. I mean, it's even nice against, say, Argenport, where you get rid of their Bloodletters and Runehammers, making their Tarot hit a lot less and a lot less powerful stuff, for example, and so on. So yeah. On to the next card. Another choice. Another not so great choice, but better than say Raph's choice if you ask me. You play a +1/+1 weapon on each of your attacking units, which is not that bad, because it's a fast spell, and then you can just attack and permanently buff your entire team. Plus, there might be like some weapon synergies that are triggered by this, which makes it a bit nicer as a bonus. And the other option is kill an enemy unit not wielding a weapon. So you basically get a bad 5-cost Death Strike and the buff potential. I feel like the card is not that great. I think the card should have cost 4, because then it costs the same as, say, Feeding Time or Death Strike, while the main mode, the killer unit mode, is worse, and you have the upside of the +1/+1 weapon on each attacking unit type. I think it's a bit unfortunate that it costs 5, because that's gonna make it not very constructed playable. I think at 4 it would have been like balanced well enough to not be too good, but be interesting for constructed. And last but not least, for this spoiler review video, we have Honor the Ancestors. This got spoiled a bit later than the Inspire and Spellcraft cards, at least some of them, but since it doesn't really fit in with either, I wanted to add this here. That's kind of a cool card. It's basically grasping at shadows for weapons. Double fire, cost 3. You either get the weapon, draw a weapon from your void, or if you manage to trigger Tribute, you basically reanimate a weapon, you play the weapon from your void instead. So this is particularly nice with some more expensive powerful weapons like Daisho, Sword of the Sky King, or Big Callus. So there might be some cool weapon reanimation stuff that you can do, is in addition to like some weapons that are not played much right now or will come in the new set that might make this even more appealing. It's definitely an interesting card to keep in mind and mess around with. But I have the feeling this card is likely going to be overrated quite a bunch, because it's not as great or powerful as some people might think. It's just like a solid, interesting card. But nothing wrong with that. Can't all be like game-changing powerhouses, and also shouldn't be, because it would be kind of boring, and also crazy turmoil all the time. Sorry, my throat is a bit rough, as you might hear. Anyway, that's it for this cycle of spoilers again. Things are really ramping up. I'm getting more and more excited for the new set. We also have the preview event this weekend where we can gather packs of the new set. So yeah, good luck in the events. Accumulate as many packs of Fall of Argenport as you can, and we'll probably have the set in a week or two. Probably in a week, I would assume. Maybe like late next week. Because this preview event is a sign that we are pretty close to release, I think. Like within 1 or 2 weeks. Either at the end of the chapter or at the beginning of the next, basically, is my call. Okay, see you guys in the next videos for the Spellcraft and Inspire reviews. And hope you guys enjoyed my take on these new cards. And let me know in the comments what you think about the cards and my opinion on them. And don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and turn on the notification icon to not miss the future reviews and other content. I'm ManOS. This was Eternal News with the latest spoilers. I thank you for watching, and I'm out. Bye.